It's grounding. It's and you fit into a larger structure.
It's nurturing to my spirit. It fuels me and reminds me of what life is about, what the richness of life is really about.
Okay, and we just had a beautiful Friday night this last Friday night, and you come alive at these Friday night dinners, and you're the life of the party. You really just inject so much vibrancy. It's almost like people know how busy you are and how many pressures you have. And then you can just come and let your hair down, not literally, but I can let my beard down.
Yes.
And so it's always so precious to have you. Let's talk about Newark for a second.
Yes.
The New Yorker did an incredible piece about you. All journalists who meet you, they fall in love with you. They see your ideas, they see your passion,
I wish
they
that
see
was
your
the case,
vision.
but thank you.
Okay, well, this one certainly did. Peter Boyer. But he said that one of the great challenges in Newark, of course, is the family structure, and that's one of the things that you face in Newark. Very high out-of-wedlock birth rate, and you've done amazing things, miracles, bringing down the crime rate, bringing in investment. You have an approval rating that other politicians can only pray for. What would family dinners mean to Newark families, if we could really institute it there?
Well, first of all, understand where I come from. I had a father that was born to a single mother, was born in poverty, and other issues, vicious segregation was going on at the time. But he really was part of a community. And he may not have sat down with a nuclear family the way you and I think of it, but he sat down with a family of people that all cared about him, cared about each other, and made time for each other. So this is the tradition from my father, from which I come, as well as from my mother. And I just think that there's too often I go into homes, not just in Newark, pick a town around the country, where you walk in and the TV's blaring while people are sitting down. Nobody's talking to each other, they're just watching what's going on. They so rarely stop and push back all the noise, all the thing, your body and your spirit's constantly being attacked by input, and they don't create that island of peace for a few moments to recharge, to refuel, and to reconnect. And that's so powerful. And I think that households need to do that more. They need to completely shut out the world and just connect. And I don't mean, it doesn't have to be mother, father, son, daughter, to create community. And that's richness I love in Newark, is because I do see people trying to and working to and having done that creating of community, but it needs to be done more. It really needs to be done more.
Because we'd like to try to launch, this program in Newark and other cities around the country, getting families to give their kids just one night a week. I mean, families are busy. We're not looking to radically transform everything, and it is baby steps. But Friday night is the beginning of the weekend. It sets the tone for the weekend. It means that the family experiences intimacy, so they begin to enjoy each other's company. Hopefully they don't have arguments and not enjoy each other's company. But what would it mean to some of these families in Newark if we could give them what you had? I mean, you went on to be a Rhodes Scholar. You were president of your student body at Stanford. You went to Yale Law School. And now all the amazing things you're doing on the political scene for the benefit of such an incredible city like Newark. And it's your city. The people love you there. And so much of it comes from that investment that your parents put in you.
At the same time, life isn't all about being aspirational or transactional. If I do this, I will get this. There's a joy. We're not human doings. We're human beings. And just for us to be in each other's presence, recognize our divinity, and connect in that way. And it does happen all over Newark, but it really needs to happen more thoroughly in all of our communities, all of our cities. And I think if we do that, if we start to affirm the dignity, the humanity, and the power of the moment, just connecting, I think we will start to affect this society in much more deeper and profound ways. And too much of our life is becoming materialistic. We're consumerism, narcissism, hedonism. It's about feeding the pleasures, chasing after just too much. There's something very powerful about just being together in a spiritual, sacred, but very pragmatic way that I think would benefit any individual, any family, and just peace and happiness. What really is joy? What is happiness? Is it having more? Is it a bigger screen TV? Is it a bigger house? If you ask anybody at the end of their life, they're not going to say, I wish I earned another $100,000, or I wish I had another a car in the driveway, or what really, I had a conversation with my friend today about, she was weeping about how much she missed her father now that he was gone, and that's been many, many months. It's those moments we get to connect with the people that are important to us. So why don't we slow down and do it more? And I know there's some hypocrisy in me saying this, because I'm the busiest guy in the world, but when I get those windows of opportunity...
No, but you come on Friday nights and you shut everything off and you don't answer the phone, and really, Cory, you're just totally engaged.
I appreciate you saying that.
No,
but
it's true.
I know...
By the way, who's the rabbi, who's the politician? I'm embarrassed. You're making my case far better than me. You got to run this organization. You and I started Friday nights for hundreds of Oxford students.
But you know what was beautiful about our experience in Oxford? So here are all these students away from home. Many of us thousands of miles away from home. Oxford's thousands of miles from New Jersey. And I think that what made the L'Chaim Society so popular, and it didn't take me long. Sometimes I'd have to drag people there the first time. It was,
right.
you know, Jews,
Quite
non-Jews,
literally.
you name it. I'd have to drag them. They were like, okay, if you're going, I'll go. But what they found there when they came there is on a Friday night in a university setting, people weren't out on dates or movies or all the things you think college students were. People were so sourced by getting together around a dinner table, engaging in conversation, in dialogue, in debate, in laughter. It became such a special place to be that our society mushroomed. So much so that you could
thousands and thousands of students, and Friday nights, it was the place to be at Oxford.
It really was.
And you would get up there and you would give some incredible speech about something that was precious to you, and that would inspire other students to get up and say L'Chaim. We probably had 40 languages on every Friday night, and I would translate because I speak 40 languages. I'd give my own little version of, usually would be praise for me. Amazing that they all said the exact same thing.
That's amazing.
But and then we've tried to recreate this here in New Jersey as well with a lot of people. You brought the governor of New Jersey to our home. You wanted him to experience a Friday night, and a lot of people who were very busy. He was going to stay a couple of hours. He stayed, like, you know, a lot of the night.
Right.
Because people really enjoy that downtime and that sense of community and that sense of family and all the things that we discover together on a Friday night.
Right. But the fact that the governor